Okay. Wow. That's actually a lot. But test split shape. I don't know what that is. Let's see if we get it again cutting this rock.
I think there's just a lot of errors for that map.
That could be. All right, let me look in Discord, Viking. Yeah, that's the same thing that I'm getting right here. So I'm not sure what that is. If it's the way that it's linked or whatever like that. But I'm only getting it once. So, you know what? Let's do this. Let's go ahead and close that out. Let's save it. Then I'm going to come back in and I'm going to cut another one and I'm going to see if that happens too. But it looks like it's something to do with that. But I don't see anywhere where it's tied to the Paladin, to be honest with you. So I don't know if that is a Paladin thing or not.
That was interesting.
You all right there, Dave?
Tyler, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime sub. I appreciate it very much. 6 Demon Dave, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate that. Is Dave back now? Can you
I
hear
hope
us?
so.
Okay.
This thing is really, really, really... That time,
Yeah?
I exited the game and I went to load up the map and it crashed both my video and my sound drivers.
You know,
In the editor.
X-Man said that he had that happen with the editor yesterday when he was talking to JD. He was in the editor and it crashed his sound drivers.
Sound and video, and I had to reboot the computer to get them back. And then I loaded it up in the editor just fine after that. So they got something really major
Something's
going wrong.
screwed.
There's a huge call for resources that's crashing stuff.
But I did. The funny thing is, I rebooted and it came right back up.
Yeah.
You know.
That's weird.
That is...
And now I can go into and I'm loading up my map. It's working fine. I removed everything, so it's less map than there was there before.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
It
something's
just
missing.
leads me to believe that they did not do a good job of quality assurance on 25.
And I can't run the editor and the map at the same time, or it will definitely crash the system. Which is sad because some of these little tests,
they're now becoming big tasks. So by doing that, Viking, I don't seem to be getting that error now. And it might have been something that was missed on one of the rocks. I don't know why it would have been. Someone used the Paladin 4 days ago, just fine, forgot who. Yeah, I'm not surprised, War, and it depends on what map and everything else. And it might be a particular rock in itself that's having the issue. Because, like, I'm doing these others and I'm not getting that error that we got. But the very first one, I did. So maybe what I try now, I'm going to see if there's some more rocks over here. But maybe what I try now is start another game, buy the same piece of land, the same equipment, and go back and try a different rock first and see if that error comes. It may just be the first rock that is that you break in this map that has that issue. Do you think it's leaving stuff in memory? That's possible, Don. I know everybody. Well, I haven't heard from JD yet. I don't know if he's had the issue, but I know everybody else has had the editor crash on them a few different times. Now, X-Man and Dave have had it crash to where it took out their the sound and everything. So I don't know. There's something going on. It's like just before X-Man just left, he was doing stuff in the editor. The stuff wasn't working. He shut it down, went back in, and didn't change anything, and it was working fine. So
That's what's happening with me.
right, yeah. So there's something there. I just don't know what it is. I really don't.
Hello.
Hey, there he is.
Hi.
How you doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Still alive.
Yeah, I've had it crash on me. Not too much though. For as much as I've been in it, it really hasn't been too much.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I'm gonna switch. I don't know how my density files got to 8192. I'm gonna switch them back to 4096. And I wonder if that's my issue. I cannot edit terrain to save my life in this editor version. I don't know what it is.
You don't. If you're doing a 4X, you don't need them that big. The 8192s are oversized.
And I'm hoping that that's the reason why my terrain. It literally is like click the terrain button, go in the middle, click, wait 30 seconds, wait another 30 seconds. You know, maybe it smooths. Wait another 30 seconds. It's horrible.
Mine isn't that bad at all, but it was with the big terrain files on the 16X, the size you're using. It was terrible.
Crash running at the same time.
You mean the density files? Because the terrain has to be, we know the terrain has to be 4096 or 54097.
All the files should be the size, right?
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, and then the density the fruit densities could be 8192.
I don't know. I haven't even looked at them to see what they are. But they shouldn't be overscaled, whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I guess you've just been lucky. Uh-oh.
I have a question for you, though. I've been waiting for you.
Oh.
You're in
My new
trouble.
project. I need help. I've got files from 2015 that need the DEM file conversion.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know how to do it with that colored image? I tried to increase it in GIMP and I still get the pretty rigid, steps and stuff.
You're gonna get them.
Am I? So I just gotta smooth it out?
Yeah, I did. I mean, what worked for me mostly was after I did, that I made it in I did a 5,000 size brush and smoothed it like 5 times through the whole thing. That worked for most of it, but it still has some ridges that I got to go back in and.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I could do it. I just was wondering if you had an easier way, because
No.
adding the pixels, it does give some ridges, but it's not too bad.
Correct.
I got to kind of go over and just touch up the whole map with a quick layer.
Yep.
All right. Then I got it pretty much the way I want, because I've decided, I don't know if you heard last night, but...
Yeah, you took my idea, but yeah, go sure.
What idea?
What do you mean?
What?
I know, yeah.
No, I'm not doing a No Man's.
Oh,
That's what we
you
do.
changed it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah. See that? You're behind the times
See,
already.
you don't.
guess so. I was on last night till like 9:30. I think you were still doing a No Man's.
That's what you get for going
Rivers.
to bed.
I'm redoing Pleasant Valley Rivers for
Oh.
10th anniversary edition.
Oh, nice.
It was 10 years since the 2015.
Yeah, or
And,
even Dave
cra-
knows that there's people out there doing 16Xs, but he tried to open a 16X with nothing on it, and it crashes for him.
I think it's the same problem he's having with the larger image files. Not to mention the 16X, the whatchamacallit, the
Hey, Dad.
terraforming, the terrain deformation, that's it, is awful looking on a 16X.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah, so I'm doing Pleasant Valley Rivers Revisited. We're going to upgrade it to a new... A lot of people thought it was their favorite map.
The terrain on that is not 4097?
No, because it's the 1 pixel, 2 pixel thing. Remember?
Oh,
Changed.
yeah.
We go to 1 pixel, so I got to double the size, and it gets a little bit... It's not bad. Like I said, I could smooth it. I have to see if the weight files will be able to help out at all. But if I have to redraw the fields and stuff, I'll just take, I'll redo them. I
No,
just
you
want
shouldn't.
terrain.
You shouldn't have to do the fields.
I don't know how. So you're good at converting that stuff from way back. I'm looking at density files and stuff from
Hey,
2000.
you're good.
Hey, Billy.
Upgraded to 4X. Yep.
Well,
that's
you
what it
know-
looks like.
Do you know how to do the density files?
I know how to use the to convert the GRLEs or the GDMs into.
Or the weight files, I should say. I'm sorry, the weight files. Do you know how to do those?
I don't know what. You just got to double the size on those two, or
Well, you have to. So the only way I know how to do those, because you do have to. Those have to be what 4096, right?
yeah, they got to go up in double size. Yeah.
So the only way I know how to do those to save them right is you have to save it and do the resize in paint.net, save it as an 8-bit, and then in GIMP, you open them in GIMP and then go to image mode grayscale, and then overwrite. Save them by overwriting.
19 shades.
And then-
I've never. I'll have to check, but so far all I've ever had to do is bring it into GIMP, and rather than just use it, overwrite it, and it holds the settings it was when it comes in. Scale it up and overwrite.
But they might have
Maybe.
changed that at some point, the 8-bit thing. I don't know. I'm not
Maybe.
sure. Because that's
I'll
the
give it a
problem. I
try.
haven't figured out how to save 8-bit in GIMP, and then haven't
I'm
figured
not
out.
changing it.
Yeah.
Don't change. That's how. The only way I could do it was with the overwrite function. Then it overwrites the same settings as it came in with, which is the 8-bit. If you go and try to save it or export it as a new graphic, then it messes it all up.
Mm.
But that's the way I've been doing it with all the files. So
So
We'll
I
see.
went back in and I restarted, and I tried a different stone Viking, and I'm not getting that error now. So now we're going to cut the rest of those around there, and we're going to see if that error comes back for that one stone. It might be linked to that one stone. But Dave, I was just thinking, not that it's going to change anything or anything like that. Remember last year? No, well, so I guess the first question, the ground deformation, is that a weight file that we have to make, that you made bigger? The reason I asked,
I didn't.
remember, you didn't? Okay.
I didn't touch anything with ground deformation yet, but I haven't tested it. I haven't got very far
Okay,
to see
no,
how
that's
things are going to
fine.
work in the
Because
corners
I
and
was
stuff.
wondering, because remember last year when we had issues with the field stones and JD realized that we had blown that up too big, that we had to go back and, I forget what JD did, but he did something to where we had to use the file that he had done. Do you remember that, JD?
Yes.
Yeah, the stone.
I'm
file
wondering if the
problem.
ground deformation is going to be the same way.
If that was the case, I'd remove it completely.
I don't think it
I don't
is,
think
but
so. I think
I
it's a whole
haven't
new
tested it
system.
either.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was just curious.
I'm pretty sure it's a whole new system for that, and it just detects where there's terrain.
Very
But
well
there
could
are-
be.
Yeah. There's so much testing to do.
Oh, without a doubt.
You
Without
don't-
a doubt.
I mean, can I spawn a tornado in the corner of the farm, or is it going to throw an error,
Right. Yep. Yep.
if it's outside the original boundaries?
Right. Yeah, so I don't know, Viking. The first time I got the same error you did, the second time I didn't. So I don't know what the deal is. So it didn't seem to be groundbreaking or game breaking in that sense. I was able to leave and come back, and the error didn't come back. So, well, 2 animal trailers sorted and circuit. Good job, Billy. Good job. So yeah, I don't know. I was able to recreate it like you sent it to me in Discord, but I don't know what the deal is because it didn't come back. Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. So,
On
Yeah,
your
Dave-
map, I got one more question, JD. Maybe you can answer that. If you put a water plane underneath the map, does it prevent harvesting above it again, or is it back to the way it used to be where it didn't matter?
Couldn't tell you.
Don't know yet. Okay. That's a test I'll have to do.
I was going to tell you, I don't know if you've used this yet. Well, probably not. If you go into scripts and you go into map, farmland fields, and open up the field toolkit,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you're going to do your fields.
The field
Oh, they changed
toolkit.
it.
Scripts.
I can tell you this. After first version 10.0.0, I did that. Nothing happened. So they must have fixed it. It didn't do anything.
I got it. I got it to work. I was watching a video on it too.
Nothing. Well, I threw an error in 10.0.0 for me. I don't know if it does now. I haven't tried it again.
It opened right up.
In 10.0?
No. In
In the
one,
current
it opens
one.
right up. Yeah.
They must. It's probably something they fixed then.
Now, the key with the fields, I did find this out, that you cannot have any pre-made fields that you do, any ones that you draw in on the map, they cannot be on separate farmlands. They have to be on the same farmland. They can't overlap each other. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Nope.
You can't have field 1 on farmland 89 and 90. It has to only be on 89.
Right. It has to be on a separate farmland.
Because if you...
usually...
Yeah. And the toggle debug rendering on that field toolkit, that turns it on so you can see the field planes, by the way. It's like not...
Oh.
I feel like that's not labeled right. Toggle debug rendering.
Is that where that gives you that blue overlay so you can see where the field?
Correct, but it's like a different overlay now.
Yeah, because I was
Well,
looking
I'm
for that
loading
the
up the
other
map.
day
Let's
and
see
I
what
couldn't
happens.
find it.
And then to convert your fields, you should just be able to hit in that toolkit. You highlight the field and click convert old. Now I don't know if it'll convert from a 15 field, but try.
Right.
Let's see if it loads up without crashing.
Let's see.
There.
So,
And like I said too, when you're making those points now with the field, and have to define the points, you can, instead of having to paint and then do a script on that, you can on the polygon points, you can control B and just start placing them on the corners of the fields, and then it will do it that way.
oh, that's cool.
That guy's video was pretty helpful on YouTube.
Mr. Darius Frost coming in with a raid with a party of 115. Thank you, Darius. How is everybody doing? Good to see everybody. So yeah, it looks like that's what Dave was saying last night, Redneck. Hey,
I don't know
Cowboy
if I
Mike,
like this.
how you doing?
This looks confusing.
What's that?
The field toolkit.
So, oh, what the hell was that?
That was my
I hit
wife
something.
blowing her nose.
No,
I'll
no,
put
no,
that
I-
video in
I hit
modding
something.
talk.
Yeah,
All right.
please.
Oh.
No, I hit something in the middle of the road. I didn't hear the other one because Mike was playing his Cowboy Mike was playing his walk-on. So I had a bunch of little Mike in my ear.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for the shout out. If you guys are not following Mr. Darius Frost, give him a follow and check him out. Fellow SGA member. And a great guy. How is everybody doing? So yeah, so we've just been testing some stuff today over here and everything. Talking through the direction that we're going with the map and all that. So that is, that's about all that's been going on. We actually just got done testing something on Zalanka. So it seems like there's an issue over there that sporadically pops up every once in a while when you're breaking up the stones, so not a big deal. How we doing, Reliant? Good to see you. Things are good. Things are looking up. I am looking forward to getting into the editor later and start my project. and go from there, and we'll see what happens. But right now, I am leaning towards, as far for the first map, I'm going to be doing a 1X map. And I'm kind of doing it to where, it's just going to be all in-game stuff, for the fact that I know that we've had a few requests and stuff from some of the console players that it'd be nice to have a map out there for console players and stuff. So I am going to do an American style map, using as a reference a map from the past that has given me a lot of inspiration. And actually, it's probably the map that has made me want to play the game most over the past years. So I'm going to be using the layout or whatever from Westbridge Hills. I've always loved that. And then at the same time, I'm going to be working with the guys. I will be working on a 4X map that is going to be more like the map that I had done that never got released, because I was playing around in the editor before I came along to the SGA, and when I first met Dave and stuff like that, I was a nobody, not much higher than what I am right now, but I had a map that I was playing on, and I had a bunch of hours on it and everything like that. I went back and actually found that, so I'm going to use that as inspiration to do a PC 4X map, so that I can kind of bring it back. There was a lot of things that I liked about it, and there was a lot of things that I didn't know how to do back then that caused me, I don't want to say headaches, but it was ways of learning. For an example, I would go in and I would do stuff, and I'd start a save game, and then I'd realize, hey, I want to change this, and I would change that, and then I'd have to start over because it would change the way things were. I would make changes in the map, not realizing that, it'll load it up as the new i3D, but at the same time, it would put all the trees back and stuff. So, having learned a bunch since then, I want to be able to bring that back. It is a very painful way to learn. One of the things you probably learned is you don't mess with the trees when you start a save game. Well, let's just say I learned that lesson about 100 times over. But yes,
move them outside the map. They can be decoration outside the map. If you need to move any.
Right. Yep.
Or delete any.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing. To where you can, all you have to do is just slide them over. Slide them over, slide them down. You could do that. But yeah, so that's the direction that I'm going. Everybody's going in a little bit different directions, but I wanted to do kind of a tribute to our, console players, and stuff, because nobody's ever really put one out that could say that it, had the SGA attached to it on console. So that's the direction I'm going to go, and we got 4 different people just in this room alone that I know that are going to be making maps, and everybody's going a little bit different. JD's going more of the Uncharted way. I haven't been around much this week. I know Darius is going to do one. Not sure what direction he's going. We can all say that Dave... What's that?
He's expanding.
He's expanding.
Yep, the
U.S.
The
US map.
No, and that's great.
I learned a few things today that are gonna... Well, 1, they make things a little bit nice, but 2, they also make things a little bit frustrating.
Okay. You want to share?
So, say you take and edit that road system.
Yep.
Delete a section.
Yep.
You have to create... It basically, that whole road system is referenced from another i3D file.
Yes.
So you have to take your entire infrastructure, export it as a new i3D, group it together, reference that I3D back into the map, and it will take on the new road shape.
Nice. Nice. Oh.
Yeah, because I kept like moving a road piece, save it, exit the map, come back in. Where'd my road piece go? What's going on?
Right.
And it's because it's referenced as the whole I3D is referenced into the map, but it has to have, its own correct grouping to pull it into the map correctly.
That's
And a lot of buildings are that way. A lot of buildings are referenced from
Yeah.
other I3Ds. So if you, like, I took a tunnel piece and I switched around the angle the tunnel goes. Basically it was a slightly curved tunnel.
Yep.
I spun the tunnel back to the face of it. Well, I had to create a new I3D to reference that new shape. So
Really?
yeah, there's going to be a lot of
So basically,
tweaks like
you
that.
have to treat everything as an individual placeable, because like I know in the past, like if you highlighted an area, you could make it a placeable to, like, if you wanted to sell that, what you would do is you'd export that into its own I3D, you'd zero it out, put it in your placeable XML with the grid coordinates of what it needed to be in the map, and just call for it from the placeable XML.
Now you don't have to deal with the placeable XML. It's all done through the in-game or through the editor. But you need to make sure you're referencing that,
Right, the new I3D.
The new I3D.
Right, yeah, so, okay. So, I guess I'll have to get in and play around with it, but it almost sounds like that might be easier than the way we used to have to do it. Because basically you had to create a separate mod and build it into the map. So it sounds like it'll make it smaller if you're only having to reference the I3D and not having to update the XML and all that stuff at the same time. So,
I mean, to a degree, yeah. I mean, basically, you're just referencing the I3D, but then it's going to be inside the map, and
Right.
if you have
Yeah,
to have
and
textures and things like that with it.
Yep, yeah, which it had to be before too. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. It's some of the learning curve stuff and everything. Yosho started a public. Yeah, so I don't know, War. I almost want to say the one he started last night, and I could be completely wrong, and if I am, someone out there correct me, but I'm pretty sure Yosho's doing a cross-play one right now. So if that's the case, it's a single X map. So in order to have crossplay, you have to be on a single X. So that's for sure. I'm so excited now I have to stop asking Dave for the fairgrounds all the time. Yeah, so I mean, the fairgrounds is going to be a whole nother beast. So, you gotta...
It is in this map, but it's not going to be the fairgrounds that you had of yesteryear, that's
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
Right. So...
It'll probably be something more along the lines of the playground builder
there you go.
when we get there.
Yeah, so if
But
that is
a
100%
fairgrounds builder.
crossplay, that is going to be a 1X map. Because the consoles are only able to do that right now. So that's what that is. So I have a question. All right, Raven. Someone has a 16X out, but without the 16X script. There no to edit it. Am I right? So in order for you to maneuver around the 16X map in the editor and stuff, yes, you would need a script, or otherwise it's going to act wonky in there. I haven't actually tried to load one up yet. I don't know, but I know a few people that have and have had issues to where it crashed and everything like that, and they weren't able to load it up. Now, these I know because I talked to X-Man, and he follows a lot of the stuff on Facebook, whereas I don't. There are people out there that are tackling 16X maps and stuff like that. My fear is, from what I know so far, from what the guys here have found out, and to be honest with you, I trust these guys a little bit more because I've worked with them and stuff like that. that you may be able to make a 16x map. There's no doubt about it that somebody's out there is going to figure it out. The issue is who's going to be able to play it. There's a lot of call for GPU and everything else like that. So it seems like that's creating issues for people opening it and loading it and everything like that. So yeah, there'll be a 16x map. I have no doubt about it. There'll probably be multiple ones. But what it's going to matter on is who's going to be able to actually play the game.
Number one, the 16x script, Darius got it to work, so that's not an issue.
Okay.
It doesn't, but the issue is how did they make their 16x? My bet is that they double pixeled it.
I posted one in streamer.
Yeah.